Hello, hi, and welcome to Political Quickie, your political show that subjectively discusses current affairs in South Africa and all around the world. My name is Map Asik Amura. It is 1 a.m. South African time. This week's episodes have been quite late, and I do apologize for that. I did share with you guys that exam prep is doing the most in my life. So next week we will be back on time, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And after the elections, after May 8th, there will be one episode just to cover who's won and what to expect. Then we will go on a production break after that. However, let's continue with our Manifesto series. Today we cover the African National Congress, that is the ruling party and has been the ruling party for the past 25 years, since 1994. It's the only political party that we have known, okay? For some of us who are younger than 25 years old, it is literally the only political party we have known as the ruling party. In the past 25 years, the ANC has built 3.2 million houses for the poor. They give 17.5 million people social grants every single month. 88.6% of the population has access to clean water, and 94% of the population can read and write. The ANC, however, acknowledges that a lot more could have been done in the past 25 years, and so they kind of sort of apologize for the corruption and the poor service delivery in the past 25 years in their manifesto by saying that they on, a road of self-correction, and that they are in the spirit of Tumamina, which means send me. Okay, and that inspires a new dawn, they say. So in my perspective, the ANC's manifesto is actually the most vague out of the three major political parties, but in their defense, I'll say there are a lot of documents that they have, like the National Development Plan, and so those kinds of documents sort of substantiate what it is that they want to do. So the manifesto gives you an overview, but in order for you to get a clearer picture of what it is that they're trying to do, you'd have to read all the other documents that they have and they've had and put out throughout the years. The ANC plans to create 275,000 jobs every year. They plan to do this by boosting local demand for goods, by investing in agriculture, manufacturing, and mining, and by expanding export market. The ANC plans to raise the standard of living with its minimum wage of 3,500 rands or 20 rand per hour, and mobilize 1.2 trillion rands in new investments, as well as establish an infrastructure fund. Legislation will be enacted that will enable workers to own shares in the companies that they work in. This will be part of the broad-based black economic empowerment. Government, labor, as well as the workers will come together to decide on the minimum thresholds as well as the conditions that will be there in the establishment of workers' ownership. The ANC will pass the expropriation bill in order to expropriate land without compensation in certain circumstances. Now, they want to expropriate land without compensation in a way that promotes economic development, agricultural productivity, as well as food security. 30% of government's procurement spend will be allocated to small businesses and cooperatives. Data costs will be reduced, and free Wi-Fi that is, will be extended across the country, which means that we can expect more strange scenarios of people standing outside libraries or schools in groups on their phones, not talking to each other, but just, solidly there for the free Wi-Fi. The ANC government plans to extend free higher education for the missing middle. I guess we can commend the ANC for caving, right, for giving into free education, because it was only after the fees must fall movement that they were like, we did promise you free education. Okay, like we did. And so free education was announced, but it wasn't really free. It has accommodated a lot of people, and I'll commend them for that. However, the system is not up to par with people getting their allowances late or getting them short, and their accommodation and their fees not being paid on time and only being paid way later in the year. So it's the same level of incompetence that we always get from government. In terms of corruption, the ANC will recover stolen money, even the money that is in offshore accounts in tax havens. So they say. Okay, they will also amp up measures to deal with private sector corruption. So, an interesting manifesto. I think for me personally, the one thing that I genuinely wanted to see was a more concrete plan that deals with the most vulnerable level of government, which is local government, because that's where people are being failed the most, because there is failure in your service delivery, and your plan is vague. I'm not seeing any concrete plan to deal with the corruption on that level and the incompetence on that level. So that's actually pretty disappointing. I think the ANC will absolutely win with more than 50% of the votes. Of course, that's how you win with more than 50% of the votes. I think maybe they'll get like a good 58% of the votes. But I personally will not be voting ANC. And above beyond the corruption, what's saddening for me is the poor service delivery. It seems that the ANC constantly chooses to put itself first ahead of the people, and the cadres, the comrades who are in government, are more concerned about the benefits of the office and not serving people. And it's disheartening for people like Panyaza Lusufi, MEC of Education and Gauteng. He's one of those people that genuinely serves the people. And then you've got the majority of the ANC disinterested in governing. And that's why I cannot vote for the ANC. I do want to strengthen an opposition. I don't know which opposition political party just as yet, whether, a new political party or an existing opposition political party. I concluded last week that I will not be voting for the Democratic Alliance. So, yeah, I'm still deciding, but I will not be voting ANC. Okay. So anyways, I love you guys. Use your talents to serve humanity, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.